God, there's no undo button in vertical. That is legend. Let's see. All right, I'm good now. There's a way for me to clear the chat. I gotta do one more test. Oops. Chat. Testing. 1, 2, off. That is the most recent. Okay. I'm good now. All right, let's give some people some time to get in here. And we will get started right after. I think all I need to do screen. Recording. A terabyte left of storage. So that should be. All right. I actually cheated a little bit. I have some of the stuff unboxed already. Pictures and whatnot. So here is the motherboard. New SSD I'm testing out. The Rec Braythorn. What the hell is it? Oh. Interesting packaging. This is going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be really quick, or it's going to... Small form factor. Do you need a PC in your living room? Do you just not want a giant tower to be sitting all in your space? Then small form factor may be for you. There are not too many compromises with this type of build. The main compromise I would say is you typically the ports on the back of the board and storage options, because this board actually only has 2 M.2 drives, one underneath here. There's actually one on the back of the board right here. Really tiny, you know? There's only one CPU power cable that goes in, 124 pin. Still get all your I/O for the front of the case, so you still get your USB 3, still get USB-C. You still get your high definition audio. Let's actually look at that. Take a look. Like there's a second board on the board just for like M.2 for the high definition audio. Pretty neat. And for I/O, we got 4 10 gig USB 3 ports. Well, the USB Type A technically. 120 gig Type C, 110 gig Type C, Wi-Fi 7. Still your standard audio. You got line in and out, microphone. Got the digital audio there. Yes, the SPDIF. I think there's probably a fan in here for ventilation. Yeah, HDMI, 2 USB 2.0 ports. So keyboard and mouse here. Other stuff here. Not too crazy, but nice board. Otherwise, if you notice, you only get 2 RAM slots on these, which is fine anyway. Basically every single motherboard coming out right now that uses DDR5 should really only be using 2. You can get 128 gigs in those 2 ports. Most people don't really need more than that. And HDMI. The DDR5 speeds, the memory controllers and the CPUs can't really keep up. So fast. So more than 2 sticks is just dumb. Otherwise you're nerfing your speeds. So I tried to stick with a low profile RAM for this, being that I'm not really familiar with the case at all, or small form factor builds. So these are just like standard height. They have a heat spreader on there still, which is good. Still DDR5 6000 CL30. So perfect for Ryzen. Basically exactly what you want. And obviously we only got 2 sticks because as of what I just talked about, there's only 2 slots. Okay, so get the CPU installed. I mean, not a whole lot going on here. I do have to wait for the M.2 drive to finish cloning. Hang out for a minute. See which screw bits I need. Screwdriver bits. Small one. Looks like there's only 2 screw holes to take the M.2 heatsink off. Good. I'm just using a Gen 4 drive for this. I think I could use a Gen 5 on this slot, the Gen 4 on the back for future use. And I'm not sure if the X870 board's different. I do have to look at that. So let's take a look, see what we got here. PCI 5 X4. Okay. You could put a Gen 5 drive here. I was right. But we're going to use Gen 4 as we can. It's cheaper. And it's less heat. I'm really like, my main concern really with this is airflow, because the only fans this case is going to have are the ones on the AIO. And you guys will see the case in a moment. Take our stickers off here. I'm expecting chat to be pretty dead today because I haven't had content posted the last couple days. I've been on vacation. Just happens to run out. Take our stupid stickers off. I think I took it already. What else do we need to do? Not a much different setup initially. You need to take a look at the CPU cooler bracket before I take it off. I don't know what it looks like. So much room for activities here because the board's so small. So here's the cooler I went with. I kind of copied the build that was on Thermaltake's site, other than the CPU and motherboard. Yes. Let's see what Thermaltake has here. Some instructions. Okay, it looks like AMD actually does use the stock bracket, so I don't need to take that off. Let's see here. I get to pick my own fan orientation. What do you mean I doxed myself? What did I do? I guess. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was just yapping. Talking about my address? My address is everywhere. I ain't scared. Come find me. Please come find me. Maybe buy a PC too while you're here. My my shipping address is my business address, and it's public information. It's not that hard to find. All right, let's see. So this looks like it just gets a bracket slipped on. I'm pretty tired. I had a nice long drive back from Maryland to Pennsylvania today. Just came back from vacation. It was great, but right back to the grind. Let's see what they gave us here. Leave that thermal paste alone. This is, let's see what's what here. I don't know what the hell's going on. Those are radiator screws, RGB. That's Intel. This is also Intel. I think it's this one. Nope, definitely not. Wait, nope. How the hell does this get installed again? Which one's this? I believe I'm reading instruction manual. AMD. This is the right bracket, I think. This is the part that actually hooks onto the clips. What's up, creepy? Getting started here. Wondering what the hell's going on. Feel me? This is actually my first small form factor build. No idea what's going on. Am I tripping or... Oh, there's 2 pieces I'm... What are these? What is this? I must be, I'm not missing something, I'm just missing something here. Screws, screws, screws. I am either losing my mind. What even is this? How is this supposed to... I'm looking at this diagram and it's showing me posts. What are these posts that hook on? Oh, here they are. You got an RTX 5070. Good for you, bro. Okay, here's my posts. And it looks like, based on the diagram, they just hook on right here. And basically what this means is that this is going to suck to install, brother. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to fucking suck. All right. It's not your typical, like, get the right screw layout, put the cooler on, and screw all the 4 screws in. This actually uses the stock AMD, this thing, these backplate bracket things, and they screw onto these, well, they hook onto these little plastic tabs that are on the edge. Okay, well, what am I gonna do? Not do it? Okay, I don't need any of this stuff. Well, this is garbage. And I don't even know which bracket this would go on. Okay, so cooler facing down. Depending on the orientation of the tubes. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to test fit it. It goes like this. And these go on the side. And it's just, I just use 2 of these instead of 4. Okay, pretty sure I got this figured out then. Yeah, germ. Primed never stops. Right, that's that. Sorted. What are these? They're for P. Oh, they're to lock in the RGB connectors. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. That's wonderful. Because this shit sucks. Okay. Are we gonna intake? I guess I need to look at this case too. See exactly how we're gonna mount this radiator. You guys get to see the case for the first time. Second time, if you look at the thumbnail. Here it is. How tiny. It's actually really easy to take apart too. I think the top, the sides, and the bottom comes off. The only thing that stays on is the back. Yep, top comes off. I may or may not have installed the riser cable early just to see what was going on there. Flip this guy upside down. This case is pretty nice, not gonna lie. And based on what I've seen, I think it's relatively easy to build into. There's like a couple things that are different with small form factor builds, and one of them is the power supply. I gotta see if I have a spare. You can see the difference in size. So this is an 850 watt. Can't remember why I even have this, because it's not a typical brand that I would use. This is an Antec. But just so you guys can see the difference in size. This is a standard. Let's take this out. I wonder who the manufacturer is for this. I wonder if ASRock makes their own stuff. Probably not. Okay, that's that. Can you guys see this? As you can see, this power supply is almost as wider than the case. There it is. That is also a 750 watt power supply. Feel small? It's literally, it's tiny. You guys see that? Where am I? Yeah. Super small. So that's one of the things that's different. It's called an SFX power supply. And generally they're more expensive than the regular ones because they're smaller. And I don't know about the warranties on these. I gotta check, because see, Sonic doesn't make a small form factor power supply. And they have like 13 year warranties. So I have to double check, but I'll look at that later. Tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So this being the top, right? This is the top. That means that's where the radiator is going to go. I think the motherboard, yeah, the motherboard goes right here. Let's see. Riser cable might cause me issues if it's installed too early. I don't know yet. Anyway, there's not going to be much room. I think I have to make this, so which way does it go? Maybe I should just install the motherboard first. Oh yeah, the other thing that's different too is they give you a power supply extension cable, so the power port stays here. What's up, Elite? MJ4 Gaming, how you guys doing? Yeah, so this is like an extension. It's kind of neat. all these cables look like they're going to be in the freaking way, so I'm just going to have to tuck these out. And these small form factor motherboards, this is in the back, so it's going to get installed like this. And there's only 4 motherboard mounting screws. That's cool. I'll put this to the side for now. I could literally put it anywhere because it's so damn small. Put it on the ground. Get our SSD installed now. Start cooking. All right, Gen 4 drive going in. Got everything off of it. Jesus, I can't even hit this. Doing that really quick. This is an ITX. So mini ITX, I think, is what they call it. ITX. Yep. All right. Elite Nightmare. How are you, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Did you see any announcement on Twitter or Facebook? All right. I mean, that's pretty as standard as it goes. I think the rest of this is gonna be, everything else is gonna be different now. Yeah, the cable management is gonna be interesting, and the AIO tubes are gonna be part of the cable management also. And then really just I think getting the cooler mounted is gonna be a serious pain in the ass. But we'll see how it goes. I have to rebuild it 6 times. Who knows? Gotta make sure I do this. Learn as much as I possibly can. Because honestly, I've already got my screws. The screws are different for this too. Where's my big screwdriver? Did my daughter take it? No. That's good. Came from Twitter. Cool. God with you. Thank you. What's going on here? Why does this feel weird? Are these not the screws? I swear they are. They are. Crazy. That one just didn't want to thread. I don't know what its problem is. There we go. Didn't want to thread. Nice and easy. This last one that's going to be kind of tricky. I think I have to move this thing. This extension. And you get your first taste of it. Feel free to copy the specs when you feel like building one. You get to watch me through my pain of doing this. If I can nail this, though. Yeah, I have a neck light, like a thing I'll put on my neck later when I really need it. Okay, let's put this extension back on. Only go in one way. Oh, it's reversible. I can already tell this installing this cooler is going to be the bane of my existence, brother. It's going to suck. I don't know why they chose this mount, the way that they mount this one. All right. I'm thinking before I... Well, I could actually install this riser cable. Probably do that first. Well, actually, no. Wait. Do I need to get the corners? I don't think so. Because the other one's raised up here. The high definition audio. Okay. That's in. Okay. I mean, these look like they're the exact length they need to be, which is great. Takes a lot of guesswork out. Hopefully the power supply is the same. Big hands, bro. Curse. A blessing and a curse. Okay. Is that all the way seated? A bit more nudge. Let's work our way. Front panel connect. Pretty sure. Oh, okay. This does have to be first. This is 3. Okay. Okay. Well, that wasn't so bad. Like, okay, what's next? I'm really thinking I do the power supply. Right? Because I feel like once I install the cooler, I'm not going to have room for anything. Where does the cooler even go? Is that the bottom? Yeah. Okay. So the cooler's going on top here. And the power supply is going to go down there in that little bracket thing. Alright, so I'll just stuff this. Oh, wait, no. I'm stupid. I just discussed this with myself. Put the power supply in. And I'm pretty sure it has to go. Okay. It looks like this bracket's removable, so I'm going to take this thing out. Great. So the screw's covered in cable. Perfect. Maybe I should have done this first. Order of operations. But this stuff's always fun. Because you have to create the order of operations to make it efficient. Screws out. Based on, okay, so it looks like, yeah, back of the power. Based on this. Yep. Power supply screws. Good. This thing is so cute. I can't get over the size of this power supply. Feels like I'm holding a toy. Yeah, I really like them too. I've always admired them from afar. You know? And if this case is, if the cooling is as good as it seems, based on what I've seen online, I'll be mind blown. Because I'm putting a 5070 Ti in here, which isn't that crazy. I don't know, man. We'll see, I guess. Only one way to find out. Okay. This is... Okay. Let's see. This just sits in there and it's little, like little bracket holders in there. And then I can just put these back in. The clearance on that, it's pretty neat. One thing at a time here. Okay. Now what? What do I have here? CPU. I think I plugged these in earlier, so all I need is CPU, GPU, and the 24 pin. I mean, these cables are like literally the perfect length, so this might not be bad at all. Think about it. That's for the GPU. This one, right? Try going up. That's kind of. I wish this cable was just like a couple millimeters longer. Almost perfect. Maybe I could tuck it in there. Like what the hell I'm doing with this extension cable. I don't want to leave this sitting up against the memory. Do it. Still a little too much stress, a little more than I'd like. Beggars can't be choosers here. You know what I mean? I mean, that's already looking not bad. I feel like the cable or the cables. This is the top, which means that the tubes are going to have to come out through the bottom and maybe wrap over the memory. And then I can tie all that stuff together. I think I'm going to throw a zip tie on here early. Oh, wait a second. There's literally cable tie brackets on this power supply thing. Wow. And basically no way for me to get to the other side of it. I need my chair, brother. I gotta sit down for this one. Excuse me, dog. All right. I think I'm gonna have to grab that thing with tweezers. This is as close to surgery as built for me. All right. Need my lights. Okay, see it now. I understand it now. But what did I do with my tweezers? Oh, they're still in there. No. Managed to pull that through. It's good. Neat. Okay. Let's throw another one on there just for fun. Just do it over here. Okay. We'll see if we need to do more later. I'm assuming the AIO tubes are going to have to be tied down to something. All right. I've been avoiding this. Oh, wait. I can avoid it for a little bit longer. Let's do this thing. Go to the back of the power supply. If you can see, that's where the port is. This. Have it go over it. Cross. See what it looks like plugged in first. See what I need after that. Oh, it's so bad. Something like this. I'll tie this just for now. Yeah, this is cool, huh, Toads? Just for the moment. So we try to make sense of this. Now that that's tied there. See. think I'm just going to leave it alone for now and tidy it up later. Okay. Look at this cooler. See if this is even possible. They say it is, so I'm trusting them, but it's really a matter of where the hell this pump is supposed to fucking go. Still has to get mounted to top. Okay, this looks like it's removable. Take this thing off. That'll make things so much easier. Probably the way it's intended, actually. Okay. Alright, I'm going to change my build approach here. Back through. Drop it in. Still have to put the fans on, I can't forget about that, but wow, okay. That actually does fit. And then this just goes on here, and then I just fuck with the tubes. Tubes are gonna have to get laid down. Okay, this is flexible, that's good. Okay. Alright, this looks possible. Maybe. Can the fans fit, though? I sure hope so, because I'm sending it. I'm just gonna send it. I gotta be really mindful about the cables here. What to do here? Which side do the cables come out? I think it needs to come out. How are they connected also? What the hell kind of mess did they give me? Okay, daisy chain the fans and daisy chain the RGB. So that's cool. And then this comes here. This should just be an extension cable going straight to... Why did they give me a cable this long, bro? Okay. So does this go to the CPU fan header? There's no USB bullshit going on here? Like, where does the pump get power from? Oh, the cable coming out of it, obviously. And that's just RGB and power. No SATA cable. Okay. All right, maybe this won't be so bad. Maybe. And this is the RGB. I think the RGB is going to be the most annoying part. I guess that's why they have those lockers. All right. Let's get the fans mounted onto the rad. And it's going to be like this. Oops. Maybe like this. It only means one thing. Really hope this fits. Kind of scary. Stop being a bitch. Just do it. It's hard for me to conceptualize. All right, out the top's fine. Go out the top. Really interested to see the thermals, man. This could be really cool. Did I say really sick? Make my life better. Okay. Now I get to choose. Where do I want the fan cables to go? They gave me a stupid long cable, so I'm just going to send it. Need guys use one channel lock thing. See how this works. Okay. Not bad. And okay, this is the long cable that's going to go over to the A fan header. Probably CPU. Nah, I'm just going to do chassis fan. And the pump is going to get installed into this. Or the opposite, actually. Okay, this is the RGB one. Did I mess this up? The answer's but it can still work. I like those little braces, man. That's pretty cool. Now I got to definitely tie these up. There's going to be too much going on here. Use these little zip ties for this. Up. I do. All these things next to each other is going to be a problem in a minute. Yeah, definitely going to be a problem. If they hang down, I can't put them on the side. There's not going to be enough room. If they hang down, I don't want any interference with the actual fans. I guess I just trial and error this instead of sitting here theory crafting. Just do it. You know what I think would actually be beneficial is multiple. In an attempt to avoid hitting her. Is I can pull as tight as I want and not worry about the RGB cables coming undone because they're in their little home. Such a good idea. Okay, this thing. On the rad screws. Gotta make sure this thing can slide also. All the way in. Pause. I mean, this whole build is just a. That's what she said jokingly, the whole thing. Will it fit? Okay. Just 2 screws. All right, what are all my fans hitting right now? Real question. Ooh, that's bad. Riser cable. All right, let's actually get all these screws installed so that I can see what this is actually going to look like. So let's take a look at our predicament over here. While also knocking off all the screws that I need from my table. All right, riser cable. Cable's definitely still making contact. Shit. Okay. Maybe it just needs to be pulled down. Does it spin free otherwise? Yes. Okay. I don't know how realistic it is to be able to pull this through permanently. How would I even do that? Because I know as soon as I put the graphics card in, it's going to push back up on it. Let's get this actually screwed down the rest of the way. Okay. The fans are actually spinning freely. I ain't even lying. But I do know what the problem's going to be if they don't. And that's the riser cable, which I'll just have to figure out later. And then these are my fan wires. Then I need a for the AIO. So what exactly? Let me show you guys what I'm working with. These are my fan cables. I mean, that is a really, really tight fit. Jesus Christ on a bike. Sorry, I keep hitting my camera. Up. So, with those out of the way, is there a possibility for this? The answer is absolutely fucking not. No chance. Is this an option? Tension. All right, this is officially harder than I thought it was going to be. This is the GPU power cable, which can go over there. This out of the way. To my man, this is tight, man. Tight AF. Although it does look like I'll be able to stuff the tubes in this little crack here. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I think once I get the cooler actually installed, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think the tubes are gonna have to go along this side like this, and then I'll have to finesse these down like this. Look like. I think that's actually pretty manageable. What does that look like height-wise? It actually looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do it. That's what we're doing. Get that off. Get our hardware. Take a good look at what the hell I'm about to do. And I can tell you, it looks like ass. It's gonna suck. But maybe do this backwards and re-thread the screws, and then just focus on trying to hook the edge. Let me see if this is. Brother, this shit is tight AF. Tighter than a clam's ass. But we make it work, you know, you feel me. Alright, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. I'm hooked right now. I'm hooked on there. Okay. I'm doing it. Here we go. Gotta get some thermal paste on there first. But we're doing it just like that. Thermal Grizzly Duronaut. We're gonna do the X. And we're gonna put on some extra because this mounting mechanism doesn't look that good. So I gotta make sure I have plenty of paste on there. An even spread. This is the Thermaltake T100. Now the real question is, do I plug my cables in first because of how abysmal this is about to be? I feel like mounting the cooler is actually the last thing I need to do. I'm excited to just do it, but I don't want to have to do it twice. So let's see what the fuck's going on here, my boy. Which one is AIO pump? AIO pump looks like the first one. It goes, oh no, CPU fan's the first, so CPU fan, then chassis fan. So I'm gonna do the AIO on the second one, and then the CPU fan on the first one. Repeated exactly what I said. And then as far as RGB is concerned, I have 2 headers here. There's only 3 devices. I'm only doing 1 plug. Means I can plug these other guys. And what did I say? CPU fan on the first. I do like that these fans are independent of the pump. Nice. I believe here. Tie them up to that when I'm done. I'm sweating. I did just decide in my head that I'm just gonna plug this in instead of trying to bridge them together. It'll be easier this way. Tie all these up together. There, installed. Okay, luck. Hooked on. Like John. Where's my screwdriver, brother? Underneath. Okay, I mean, that's supposedly on right now. Supposedly. Tuck this stuff back. Here. Come on. Work with me here. Please, yes. Let's get it. I mean, that's not bad. I'm being real with you. I just got to route these tubes now. And I'll fix these cables up after. So, it's a pretty hard turn. I have an idea. I'm going to secure the tubes to the 8-pin CPU power. Yep. Just doing that kind of made it possible. I think. Man, if these things came with a spacer for the tubes, bro, like a little plastic clip that keeps them separated and in line, that would have been awesome. But they didn't, so no solution here. But that is the placement right there. Buy it. Nothing. I don't even know. Yeah, I've already come to the conclusion that this is basically going to be impossible for someone who doesn't know anything about computers to service at all. But looking like I've done it, gentlemen and lady. If there's one single lady here. I don't mean single, I mean just lady. That's tight, brother. That fan still spins. Can't really test the other one. It was. Oop, that one's hitting some. What are you hitting? Okay, it was the GPU power cable, which is fine. I can route that somewhere else. Okay. Damn it. What are you hitting now? Same cable. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Put the GPU in. Grab one of these guys. A PNY RTX 5070 Ti. If it fits, it ships. Literally. It should fit. It's pretty small. The only thing I'm worried about is the thickness. This is the only time I've ever been worried about the thickness of anything in my whole life. Pause. It's exactly 3 slots thick, so there should be no issue at all. I think I have like 3.2 slots available to me in this case. Here's the card. Oh no. Why didn't anybody tell me my shit died over here? Nobody said a goddamn thing. How long has that been off? God. Don't do this to me. Because I don't have my stream up in front of me, I only got chat. Uh-huh. That'll fit. I think I'm gonna plug this in beforehand. Maybe. If it wants to go in. You too good for your home? Oh boy. My problem here. Why don't you want to go in? Why won't you go in? There it goes. It's more difficult than I thought it should be. What the hell is this thing for? Oh, what cable is it? Riser cable is a problem now. And I think that is what was causing my little interference issue. Can I slide it down? That's the real. It looks great, but I gotta figure out riser cable. The only solution I have is to pull them forward a tad. But how do I keep them from moving? I almost have to stuff something underneath it. Yeah, I gotta come up with a solution. Well, it works for now. Let's see what happens. Card looks seated fully. I didn't think about this being a thing. All those cables being visible. Change that. We'll see. Side panels. Moment of truth. Well, done. I think. I forgot to fly on. Yeah, we'll see, Jesse. We'll see how the temps are. That's the one thing that was always stopping me before. So I'm with you on that. But we're gonna find out. I think I might live stream stress testing and stuff. So, well, I won't have a monitor for it. Not a monitor, but I won't have a feed for it. Well, it's on. So what's the idea for the airflow over here? GPU sucks in air from the sides. Does it exhaust out the bottom? The bottom and the front, and then the rest of it goes through the top? Guess we'll find out in a few minutes how the temps are. Are the fans spinning? Yes, they are. The only two fans. And the lights went off in my house. Great. Turn those back on. We'll see if we posted. I'm not gonna be able to read chat for a minute, by the way. Did we post? It turned off. It doesn't want to turn back on. Odd. It's not good news. Me. Let me turn my lights back on. That'll help. Why is my YouTube chat so messed up? Check my front panel connectors. Let's see if they're still connected. Lights are on the motherboard. Front panel connectors are definitely on. Power button's up here. Just not triggering it for some reason. It worked on the first try. It's really odd. Off. Pull the power plug. Plug the power back in. On. Anything. Turned on the first try. Nothing changed. I didn't even touch anything. Cables all look fine. Everything else looks fine. Oh man, this sucks. Anyone talking to me in chat? Oh man. That sucks, man. The only thing that happens... Oh, I'm dumb. This didn't even work. I heard something. Damn. You don't want to turn back on. Why? I mean, there could be only 1,000 fucking things. power button not doing anything is odd. Very odd. I have a feeling we must have a short. Because what else could it possibly be? Plug the GPU. Oh, go way backwards. All the motherboard LEDs are on. Right, let's work backwards here. Pull the GPU back out. Find the source of this problem. It's just odd that it worked. It worked. I hit Y on the keyboard and then it turned off. Which to me is... Let's see if we can get it to boot without a GPU. See if it does anything without a GPU, rather. Hate to do it, but I gotta cut these ties, man. Figure this out. First, I'll try pulling this riser cable out of here. I take this power supply out, I'll never get it back in the same. Like nothing. Did I pause? Looks. But he said it would be easy. Yet. This cable. This is the issue. Power supply directly into the wall. Either. Suck. Over. Any connections that could cause a short. Left hand. RGB is all good. Underneath is good. CPU power cable looks good. RGB looks good connected down there. Something this wire man possible. Take a look. Guys, I really don't want to fucking cut, but what am I gonna do? Pins look good. CPU cable. Reseat it. What's the opposite of a magnet? Metal. All right, what are we thinking here? Reseated the CPU cable. Let's just do one thing at a try to connect this. I already tested that the power cable was not the problem, so I can plug this back in. I just plug the GPU back in too. Nothing. Okay. Let's look at the CPU. This thing off the bottom. Checking out the motherboard side. Perfectly seated. Hardly any strain on it. That's not the issue. 24-pin cable. Perfectly seated. Can't possibly be that. Check the cable that is. And I can try. I'm going to try to jump this. Nothing. I'm stumped. It literally worked the first time. So why would it do that on restart? It doesn't work when it's manually jumped. CPU power cable has been reset already. Try doing this. Pins look good. None of the wires are coming out or anything. I think the board got shorted somehow. I think that makes sense. Why it's just dead. Because it should just work. But the thing is, like, why would I get power LEDs? A little speaker plug in. Where did that even go? Of course, the power cable's plugged in. Totally dead. Yep, power supply on and everything. What was that? Heard something. This sucks, man. What could it possibly be? Only goes on. And oh shit. I don't know what to do. It's broke. Yeah, guys, unfortunately, I think the motherboard is shot. Why wouldn't power button does nothing? Nothing happens. I keep thinking that I'm hearing a sound, but I think what's actually happening is I'm tweaking. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I think I have to individually test some of this stuff. I guess I could test the power supply on its own. I have a tester. Try this. Cables, chair, but let's try some. Bear with me, guys. This is the fun stuff. thing I didn't try using the OEM cable with this thing. I mean, I've done 1200 watt power supplies with this cable that's plugged in, so I couldn't see how this possibly would make a difference, but no. Maybe I'll go directly into the wall for this too. All right, to use this thing, I think
Testing. Connect both the 18-pin and 10-pin connectors of the motherboard cable to the power supply. Plug the AC power cord back into the power supply and make sure that the AC power is coming directly from a wall unit. Do not use power strips, extensions, or create a short circuit by connecting the pins shown. For models that support DC to DC converter design, short 24-pin connector that came. Turn on the power supply by setting the I/O switch to the I position. Check to see if the power supply fan is running. If it is,
power supply. Test it. And test it. Using this ASRock thing anyway. It's not known working technically, but giant massive cables. No bag that they give you. Board. You. All I'm going to use for Where are my motherboard lights? They're there. Damn. Power supply. That a bitch. I'm gonna try it one more time just for whatever. Pretty much no reason. I already know it's broke, but let's try it again. Just for fun. Confirm one more time. Nothing, bro. Make sure I'm not an idiot. Everything's plugged in. CPU, fucking. Yep, everything's plugged in. Power supply's a dud. Oh, that's unfortunate. I gotta text this guy. All right, Zach. See how fast I can get another one here. See if I can. Maybe I'll use a different brand. I don't like when things fail the first time I use them. The case. Let's do this on my computer. It sucks. It booted the first time, like it did something. So unfortunate. Very rare. I don't think that's ever happened. life. Power supply not working. Let's see what other options. Products. Power supply. SFX. We want it to be at least 50. Be in. Corsair. Ugh. Corsair. Silverstone make. Sonic has one too. I didn't think they made. Oh man. Well, we already know what the problem is here. So, unfortunately, we ran into a problem. This is for the YouTube content, by the way. We already know what the problem is, but unfortunately, the Thermaltake, whatever this is, power supply. What is it? The Tough Power SFX 750 was dead on arrival. Which sucks. It doesn't require a whole rebuild, which is good. So most of this stuff, I'm probably just going to throw this thing back together, other than the power supply, and order another one. I'm not sure which power supply I'm going to go with yet. I don't think I'm going to use Thermaltake. We shall see. Because these are really expensive, and you got to make sure you're getting your money's worth, you know. So, I mean, I can't really do anything else. I tested it with a known working power supply, and it worked first try. That's kind of where that stands. So, unfortunately, we'll be returning this one, and we'll get a fresh one in there. I will live stream the next part. Sometimes this stuff happens with building PCs. This is the first time ever I've seen a power supply not work right out of the box. It's not typically a failure point. So this is very odd. Very odd. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll be live most likely tomorrow building a ready to ship PC. It's a 9800 X3D 5070 Ti, which will be available for sale. It'll be about $2,750, $2,750 if anyone wants to pick that up. And I'm gonna clean this up. Thank you guys for watching. Zach, sorry buddy. We'll get this taken care of though as soon as possible. We'll get it overnighted. That's it. See you guys later.